What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to Celio's Network. All 100 Fusion Art cards from the Japanese Fusion Art set have officially been revealed. So I thought, what better time than 6 in the morning to record a video looking at the cards. I'm not going to look at all 100 because I have looked at some of these cards on the channel already, but I'll look through the notable new cards. They're not sorted by being new anymore. They're all in order, all 100 here on pokebeach.com, but we'll go through and look at the ones that stand out to me, maybe look back at some ones that we've already looked at as well, and some that were revealed like in the past week but not necessarily last night. Yeah, before we get into this though, shout out to PotownStore.com, best place to get tcgo codes, and PokemonCard.io, where you can find all of my standard format decks. And be sure to subscribe to the channel for daily Pokemon TCG content. So here you will see that, yeah, these are from Sword and Shield number 8 Fusion Arts that comes out in Japan next Friday, so that would be September 24th, and we are getting them on November 19th or 9th. I believe there's a 9 involved. Yeah, it comes with the Mew vmax, Genesect V, the new fusion style, which TBCI describes as Pokemon with the fusion strike style often have attacks that focus on teamwork and reinforce the idea of strength in numbers. Fusion Strike Pokemon generally benefit when other Pokemon with this battle style are in play, and they are decorated with a hint of purple and pink. Okay, so yeah, looking at this on pokebeach.com, so shout out to them for having this resource. We're going to go down to the trainers. I've seen OmniPoke do this with set reviews, and we're not really reviewing a whole set, but I like the idea of starting with trainers, and some of the cool new ones that I wanted to talk about are trainers. So Skate Park, this didn't come out just last night, but I haven't talked about it on the channel yet. Obviously, it's a stadium card, and whenever a player's active Pokemon retreats, that player puts any basic energy used to pay that retreat cost into their hand instead of the discard pile, so reminiscent of a skateboard, and you'll see a skateboard there. Skateboard helped with retreating. This does as well. I think it's a really neat stadium card to have. Dancer was recently revealed. Draw 2 cards. It's a supporter. If it's your first turn going second, draw 3 more cards. So draw 5 is obviously amazing on a supporter, but draw 5 if you lost the coin flip and have this in your hand and your opponent chose to go first, then that's all very circumstantial and makes this card absolutely garbage. Let's see what else was last night. Sydney's a new supporter card we saw. Your opponent reveals their hand and you discard 2 in any combination of Stadium, Special Energy, and Pokemon Tool cards. So maybe in a vacuum this seems oddly specific and not very good, but in a control style deck where maybe your opponent is just draw passing and they eventually build up a large hand to wait to try to make like one grand play towards the end, you can use Sydney in a control style deck perhaps. Grand Bell of Remembrance is something that we didn't look at on the channel yet. It's a Pokemon tool card. When the Pokemon VMAX this card is attached to is knocked out by damage, search your deck for a card and put it into your hand. I think this is pretty horrible because Pokemon VMAXs are only getting knocked out a total of 1 time before the game ends, aside from Sylveon VMAX, which if your Sylveon VMAX is getting knocked out and it's not worth 3 prizes, that means you have Ribbon Badge attached and not Grand Bell of Remembrance. If this was every time it's damaged by an attack, that'd be different. And also it's weaker because it has to be knocked out by damage. It can't even be an effect or damage counters or anything like that. And just searching your deck for 1 card on a condition that can be scrappered or jammered is just really, really bad. SpongeBob Gloves. The attacks of the Pokemon this card is attached to do 30 more damage to your opponent's active water Pokemon. The gloves have been pretty poor. Battle VIP Pass. This is a cool concept, almost good design, but I'm pretty sure it's bad. You can only use this card on your first turn. So again, this is kind of like Dancer, except it's your first turn regardless if you're going first or second. Search your deck for up to 2 basic Pokemon and put them onto your bench, then shuffle your deck. This actually helps the player going second, but I would have liked to see it have some sort of other use, like draw a card. But if this is your first turn, you may choose to instead search for up to 2 basic Pokemon. Just being an absolute dead card in your deck past first turn has traditionally been really, really bad and not worth deck space. Cross Switcher is kind of like Custom Catcher. It's a Fusion Strike emblemed card. You must play 2 copies of this at the same time. Switch one of your opponent's benched Pokemon with their active, and then switch your active with one of your bench. So it basically is a Guzma style effect where you gust up your opponents and you have a switch, but you have to play 2 of them from your hand at the same time. So this could be okay in Inteleon decks. Also maybe in Mew from Celebration decks. After Inteleon rotates, Mew from Celebrations looks at the top 5 and gets an item, kind of like Stellar Wish Jirachi, but it has to be an item, not a trainer. Cross Receiver, you also must play 2 of these at the same time, and then you get to put a Pokemon or supporter from your discard pile into your hand. This is a neat one, potentially for control style decks, or even just decks that want to play a plethora of different supporters. So then you play 4 of these. Again, probably only going to be with our current engines available to us, Mew from Celebrations or a Drizzile and Inteleon, if it ends up being worth it at all to play this instead of just more supporter cards. Greedent VMAX is new. Big stonks, 30 damage, and if your opponent's active basic Pokemon is knocked out by damage from this attack, take 2 more prize cards. So this is incredibly specific, but it pairs specifically with Greedent, which is what we're scrolling for here. Greedent, that is Greedent. Greedent pairs with Greedent. Genius. It pairs with Galarian Cursula, which is what we're scrolling for here. I just checked to make sure I actually remembered to hit record, which it's shocking to me that I remembered to hit record for this video. Galarian Cursula, stage 1. It has compulsory restoration for restoration for a psychic energy. Put a basic Pokemon V from your opponent's discard onto their bench, and then damage it until its remaining HP is 30. So this is a really interesting, really neat, really out of the box attack. I like it. But you put a basic Pokemon V from your opponent's discard onto their bench, and then damage it until it only has 30 HP remaining. So if it's a Pokemon V that cannot evolve, or your opponent doesn't have the evolution in hand, then on the following turn you can, whatever our new custom catcher card is called, you can Cross Switcher, you can Boss, you can Umbreon VMAX, you can Toy Catcher, you can regular Catcher, whatever you want. Bring that bad boy up, that you Cursula it onto your opponent's board, and then hit them with the stonks, and then you yeah, they only has 30 damage left, so you hit it for 30 damage. It's a basic Pokemon if they didn't evolve it, and you get to take 2 extra prize cards. So effectively doing this 2-turn combo to take 4 prize cards, which probably seems pretty bad because there's a lot of circumstances. They can't heal it, they can't put an HP buffing tool on it, they can't evolve it, they can't knock out your Greedent that you have set up, they can't win the game next turn. Lots of situational stuff. And then we'll just scroll until we see the other cards we haven't looked at. Dunsparce, each player's colorless Pokemon has no weakness. This seems like it should be as good as colorless Pokemon are. I see it potentially being okay with Togekiss VMAX. It won't be in the format for too long with Togekiss VMAX. No, that's not true, because this is our November set. So yeah, it'll be in format for almost a year with Togekiss VMAX. I forgot how close we are with Japan's sets now. It's actually really neat. But yeah, so this is cool if we ever have colorless Pokemon that are really good, and you know, you can tech 1 card in to make your main Pokemon have no weakness. That's great. Like any type could at any point want a card like this. So it being specifically colorless, yeah, we don't have great ones. We have Togekiss VMAX and we have Snorlax VMAX, which isn't played in standard, but Togekiss VMAX, you know, Jolteon's a deck. Tapu Koko VMAX is apparently a deck. There could be other lightning type decks that come out that maybe, you know, are some part of the meta that threaten Togekiss VMAX. So if Togekiss VMAX is good and there is somewhat of a presence from lightning types, then Dunsparce will get value, and we could also just get other colorless Pokemon in the future that could get value from Dunsparce. That's not new. That's not new. Looking for the new stuff. This Obstagoon is new. Shush 30 damage and choose one of your opponent's active Pokemon's attacks, and that Pokemon can't use that attack next turn. This is just useless like these attacks typically are. You need to have these things have to be some sort of effect on the opponent and not the opponent's Pokemon, or say like if your opponent switches, or all Pokemon named the same as the defending Pokemon can't use X attack, those kinds of things. And then Merciless Strike does 150 for dark energy if the defending's already damaged, but that's not strong enough on a stage 2 Pokemon. I mean, it's good. It'll almost two-shot something. If it's already damaged, it's basically two-shotting something, but probably not worth it because this Pokemon takes, you know, either 2 turns to set up or a rare candy and an energy attachment. So could maybe be decent if there's a lot of dark weak stuff, but probably not. Steelix is new but not good. Golem has incredible artwork. I love this Golem. Golem is like one of my most memorable Pokemon from like watching the anime back in the day, like in I almost said base set anime, like in I guess season 1, like in Kanto, like seeing Golem in the anime for the first time. I remember that, and this Golem's really awesome looking, but unfortunately is really unawesome card wise. We already looked at the Galarian Cursula, which I do think is neat, but you know, have to be skeptical about single prize Pokemon. Boltund VMAX. Lightning Storm does 30 plus 30 more for each lightning attached to all of your Pokemon, and then Max Bolt does 240 for 230 for 3 energy. So it's basically like Max Geist or bigger Bolt Storm from Boltund V. Probably not amazing at the moment, but could be better in the future. Crabominable. First attack could be part of a mill deck, maybe. Discard the 2 cards of your opponent's deck. And then Fist of the Destroyer does 90 plus 60 more for each damage counter on your opponent's active Pokemon. And this could be pretty good. It's basically like Sableye V, but with a base damage of 90 instead of 10. And Sableye V is already seeing play. So depending if we get more replacements down the line for this, like Zigzagoon, Galarian Zigzagoon with the Headbutt Tantrum will be gone, you know, in another year, and this card will still have another year or 2 of standard format playability after that. So but in current standard format, this could find its place. You know, you could accelerate with Melanie Raihan, with Frostmoth, with Frostlass. I was trying to say Frostmoth and Frostlass at the same time. So Fist of the Destroyer I think has potential, and maybe if this is the best way to mill cards, maybe it could be in a mill deck. For Alligator's new, but it's not good. This Heatmore has Tag Bolt. Elated Flame for Fire colorless does 90, and if this Pokemon has 3 extra energy attached, it doesn't say it has to be fire. This attack also does 180 to one of your benched for one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. So if you have fire colorless and then 3 more colorless, you do 90 and 180, which is pretty awesome. Like in a, you know, a single prizer deck that has acceleration, so like Cherum's Grass Energy, or like Flaffy, maybe like a Rayquaza deck that already has fire and Flaffy to accelerate lightning or something. Probably not something I'm thinking is going to just come out and be competitively viable, but like 90, 180 coming from a single prizer Pokemon, something to look out for. I think we've seen Serena V already. It does 20 and then discard any number of your bench Pokemon, do 40 more for each bench Pokemon you discard in this way. Which has a really low damage output unless you really clear your bench, and even then it's doing 220 max, and then you have no bench Pokemon. So maybe if we got like a Sky Field or something in the future, this could be good, but I don't see how this would be like. Maybe it could be like a finisher of sorts for grass decks, but even then it's like 220. That doesn't really sound like much of a finisher, does it? Excelgor Fusion Strike. If this Pokemon's on the bench, it became your active. This attack can be used for a grass energy, so it does 120, kind of like First Impression. If it was from the bench to the active, it does 120 for one grass. Keep in mind that I believe Mew VMAX can copy this because it's a fusion Pokemon, so Mew VMAX for 2 colorless can do... Hold up. That's probably not even good, right? Because Mew VMAX has to copy things for 2 colorless. Yeah, that's not even good. Never mind. I was thinking Mew VMAX was like Mew EX, but no, that's probably not good. So yeah, and Excelgor is a stage 190 HP Pokemon. Level ballable, do 120 for a grass, maybe hit grass weak Pokemon, probably not worth it. And yeah, that looks like it's going to be everything for this updated Fusion Arts, Fusion Strike, Fusion Style new card review. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and let me know if there's anything I missed or any cards I overlooked or anything you disagree with me on. I'd love to hear about it in the comments down below. But thank you so much for watching. Make sure to check out Potown Store for all of your Pokemon TCG online needs, and PokemonCard.io for my standard format deck lists. Any links you need are in the description down below, and I'll see you next time here on Celio's Network. Peace.